Hey everyone, before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch my movie. This is my second travel documentary, and I want to continue to get better at creating these stories. So if you like it, please subscribe. And if you really like it, I put a donations button in the description below to help fund future projects. Thanks. Enjoy.
Yo, Nate. How are the flies, dude?
These flies are relentless.
Pretty good, huh? Got any fresh wounds?
Hey everyone, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Nathan Wells, and last year I quit my desk job to pursue a career as an independent filmmaker. And these are my stories. This is my travel story about a 3-month journey across the Australian desert. We start off our journey in Perth, the biggest isolated city in the world. The next closest city is Adelaide, and that's over 1,300 miles away. To help us get there, we bought a 1993 Nissan Patrol from a used car dealership, so it still needed some work. It took us almost 2 weeks to gather our supplies, and we were off. Wait, let me back up a bit. This is Waylon. You remember Waylon from Alaska. Yeah, that's him. Our first stop on this road trip is Margaret River. This place is home to one of the main surf events on the World Surf League every year. So we had to see what it was all about. Oh, and did I mention? Margaret River is home to some of the finest wine in the world. So, we had a taste. When we left Margaret River and we were on our way to Esperance, we drove through the valley of the tall trees. And these trees definitely live up to their name, ranging 40 meters high and 11 meters in diameter, making these eucalyptus trees some of the oldest in the world. And we found a cool spot by a river to set up camp. Early the next morning, on our way to Esperance, we ran into minor car issues along the way. When we finally got to Esperance, it was a big sigh of relief. And we met a family that took us in for the holidays as we explored the southern coast. Esperance is out of a dream. The water is crystal clear, and the sand is so fine it even squeaks when you walk on it. Esperance has an abundance of wildlife, from families of dolphins to kangaroos on the beach eating lunch, to families of surfers enjoying the Southern Ocean. And even more recently, Esperance has become one of the deadliest places for shark attacks in the world, and the current government doesn't see it as a problem. And later that night, we witnessed firsthand one of the worst natural disasters to hit Australia. As we woke up the next morning, we saw a huge cloud of smoke, exactly in the direction we're headed. When we left Esperance, we had no idea what was in store for us over the Nullarbor. We took a shortcut through the bush, found some camels, and we almost got caught in a bushfire. And we figured this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As we made our way off the dirt road, we wound up at the Balladonia gas station that almost burnt down the night before. So we got a police escort out of town. And since the cops shut the road down in the opposite direction, we had the road all to ourselves.
Oh my god, they fly! Holy shit!
The drive over the Nullarbor can be quite boring, but it's home to some of the weirdest animals in the world. To live in the Australian desert, you have to adapt to a lot of different variables. The Erie Highway that connects to the Nullarbor is one of the longest straight stretches of road in the world. Over the Nullarbor, you have some amazing views and some world-class waves, if you're willing to make the trek, that is. When we eventually got to Port Lincoln, we found two things Port Lincoln's famous for: oysters and cage shark diving. But there was one thing I didn't like about Port Lincoln, and you have to drive pretty far to find some surf. And it's a bit daunting when you're the only one out there in the water. I didn't last long out in the water by myself, because we were excited to head to Adelaide, the biggest city we've seen since Perth. The city of Adelaide is very diverse. It brings together so many different cultures. One of my favorite places of the trip was the Adelaide Central Market. The Adelaide Central Market is one of the largest uncovered fresh produce markets in the Southern Hemisphere. And upon exploring the market, we met Simply Saj. Saj is a Malaysian cook who has hundreds of recipes, and her cooking includes a fusion of Eastern and Western styles. And in this travel show, she gets 5 forks out of 5 forks. And when we got thrown out of Adelaide, our next stop was Melbourne. When we were on our way to Melbourne, we only had 1 week left on our visas. So we were lucky enough to sell all of our gear and celebrate at the St. Kilda Festival the night before our flights. And when I eventually got back to Los Angeles, something else was happening.